Mega Shopping Day! Shopee!
Stopping us now. We got the keys. We're running this town. Come on, let's play.
This is not your grandfather's apprentice.
The winner will receive the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work for me as my protege. You bombed, and you bombed.
I've fallen a million times, but I get back up and I fight, and that's what you guys will do.
This is for real. This is the toughest apprentice in history.
Every journey has ups and downs. All you need is to focus on your goal.
Just eating them all alive.
GG, let's go!
We all have different adventure stories to tell, and mine is just getting started.
I don't think Shaker got as dumpstered as you said he did.
Really?
I think on day one you were like, oh, Shaker's completely garbage now. I don't think Shaker's that bad.
Really?
Yeah. The shard is, the nerf was, it.
Look, let me describe you this scenario,
Please.
this storyline. There used
Educate
to
me.
be
The storyline.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, there was a hero called Earthshaker, and this hero was really strong because of his ultimate. He would jump in and smack
Oh, you're going
you.
way back in
Way
time.
back.
Okay,
he jumps
okay.
in, smacks you, destroys your full team, and you lose some very important TI match because of that. Let's put it that way.
Yes, okay.
Exactly. Mr. Ice Rock then sees this and nerfs that ultimate, so you don't really deal as much damage with it any longer. But he gives you something else. Your fissure is a bit stronger, and then you can use it perhaps with this shard to wreak havoc and double stun people.
Okay.
However, that was also too broken, and now he nerfed your ultimate before, and then he nerfs your shard too, and you have neither. Like, how do you play the hero?
Well, you have neither's a bit of a leap, all right? The
don't.
shard is not.
You have a half-ass ulti and a half-ass shard, like. And your Aghanim's also doesn't really matter anymore
That's
because
true.
of the roots.
I'll give you that one, but I still feel like the shard, despite getting nerfed, is still one of my. Well, I still think it's like in the top 8 strongest shards in the game.
So what I'm hearing is that for Lizard,
Okay.
for Lizard it's a tragedy. For you, Tsunami, it's a.
Oh, I don't miss
It's an
Shaker.
epic.
Let's not misinterpret this. I'm glad that Shaker.
He's untouched. His ulti
Yeah,
still
and the
does.
shard and the scepter untouched.
His ulti
So
still
where's Bat
does,
Rider
yeah.
at?
We've seen him. We
he's
saw
been-
him yesterday.
That's true.
Nigma picked him. Unfortunately, that didn't.
You
work
keep giving
out
me
for them.
examples of Nigma picks. You were like, oh, Mirana's been picked. And I was like, really? And you're like, Nigma had picked Mirana. I'm like, oh, doesn't
That
really
is
count.
because I was the host
You were
for
right.
Nigma's
Listen,
games.
I know, yeah, but you should qualify that first. You'd be like, Mirana lost and Nigma picked it, because then I'm like, oh, now I have some context to this statistic. So Batrider was picked, Nigma picked it, so I want to know the teams that are still in this tournament, why aren't they picking Batrider?
Okay, so I actually think Bat can still be played because it's abusable, the Aghanims and Shard, but the hero definitely is much weaker than he used to be.
Yeah.
You can't farm the Ancients as fast, but
So that's the
still.
example of you were talking about. They would buff one thing, and
Not,
they would...
but not necessarily that much because he's still. His ulti is still untouched. He had 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
Earthshaker had 2 of them as well. He had the ulti and the fissure was really good. Now they took 1 dimension away from him. He can't really blow up people with the ultimate, and then you take that shard away from him.
It looks like the current game is kind of showing the same hero pool in terms of both picks
Yes,
and
bullshit.
bans, except LGD is taking that Mars from Vici.
I'm mad. This looks like actual legitimate Dota. Not what I signed up for.
What would be okay? Tell me now. What would be? Oh, Grimstroke. Nice.
Give me a Willow. It's not
A Willow?
It's not like crazy, but it'll be fun to watch. Willow with Mars.
We've seen some good Willow.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tusk was banned out actually by Vici Gaming, so that's something they
Vici
can pick.
Gaming's
True.
turn to
Oracle, Gyro, they go with the IO again. Or, well, we haven't seen this story before.
All right. So tell me, how can we turn this current match into some fun Dota?
Give me it as a support IO, and let's Gyro Weaver. LGD. Give me Weaver pairing with IO.
Now, I would like to see Weaver on either one of these two sides. Maybe it's a bit difficult versus Puck, but it's one of those heroes that might work versus IO. I still, honestly, throughout the DPC and the SCA, I haven't seen IO do poorly if the
10
team
seconds
executes
remaining.
properly around him. The only time I see this hero really fail is when
5 seconds remaining.
they're not playing well around
I feel
the
like
IO.
you could say that about any hero. Oh,
Yeah, but saying that if the IO is playing well, he wins. That's
okay.
Vici
So it's just dependent on the
Gaming's
one
turn to
player as
bat.
opposed to like a team.
okay,
kind of
team
thing.
and the hero, but
You're weakening your argument.
no. What I'm
I was
trying
giving you an out.
What I'm trying to say that if they're playing well with the IO, they won't lose. But if they're not, sometimes team plays well but still loses, you know, because the other team is better or
10
makes less
seconds remaining.
mistakes.
I see. So
That's
IO
all.
just it allows
PSG
more.
LG
Yeah,
Games
just
turn
it's
to
very
bat.
strong. That's it.
Okay.
I was really hoping to see LGD pick up Death Prophet so that we can see that combination that you've been hyping up and that we've seen did fantastic last game, but unfortunately Vici Gaming did ban it. Imagine like Arena plus Exorcism and then you know the
10
IO
seconds
just
remaining.
doing its thing.
That's the only thing that they really lacked in that
LGD's
last game. It
turn
felt
to
like their offlane Sand King, they picked it to combo it, to pair it well with the Mirana, but later on in the game they did bring to the team obviously the control that they needed, but Mirana after the ultra kill felt like he just gets eliminated at the beginning of every fight.
10 seconds remaining.
So what do you think
PSG
they're going to pick?
turn
Obviously
pick.
they can't pick the same heroes. No DP, no Tusk. What are we gonna see?
Titan, yeah, it's. I'm surprised that
Vici
of the things that
Gaming's
Vici was
turn
willing
to
to let go from the previous draft, they let the IO go, and they're like, the IO wasn't the problem. It was the Death Prophet pairing. It was the Elder Titan pairing that was really the problem.
This is also kind of solid. You have the passive from the Abaddon and you can go on top of heroes, so that's pretty nice. It kind of serves the same purpose as a
10
position 5.
seconds
It
remaining.
doesn't hit as hard as an ET, but it's solid and it's
5 seconds
extremely
remaining.
popular support in the Chinese region. Lanham brought it to fame, and then everyone else kind of followed suit, started picking it.
So this will be a core IO, right?
Yeah.
It most likely because of the Abaddon pick.
So Abaddon's role would be to protect the IO, right? Because IO is very squishy and Abaddon can shield and basically tank all the stuff frontline.
He's a
for-
frontliner, yeah,
Right.
exactly. He's a
Okay.
frontliner that you like to tether early on, and he benefits from the attack speed and everything. So
Yeah, and IO loves laning with people who can heal him,
Yep.
and then you just
you heal yourself as well.
infinite heal
yeah.
loop.
So Vici Gaming didn't really figure out the answer to the IO Death Prophet other than banning the Death Prophet, but what can they pick now to really combo that? Because it looks right now that they're gonna focus around the IO as the current pick
They
stand.
could go with their comfort zone. They could still pick that Wraith King that they so much love picking. It's a good hero with the Grimstroke. Is it that strong versus IO? I don't think so. The Radiance build that every single Chinese player is going for does not feel that great versus a hero that just heals up naturally so much.
Yeah, and then I guess in terms of supports, LGD thought that it was worthy of banning out the Ancient Apparition as their final ban last game.
But there we go.
Vici
I
Gaming's
actually
turn to
expected
pick.
them not to go for it, but pretty good. And the Dark Willow that we mentioned in the last game.
I know that you mentioned last
Vici
game that
Gaming's
Ancient
turn
Apparition
to
is
bat.
like the anti-IO.
snap.
Can you explain why?
Yeah, because so the reason that Blizzard and I were skeptical of it being anti-IO against a core IO is because the core IO is not as dependent on the heals. You're so tanky as it is. Eventually, you're gonna get the heart.
And
but,
the BKB. You're getting
and
the
the
BKB
BKB.
very
10
early on, yeah.
seconds.
So that's why, ideally, Ice Blast is an anti-IO strategy because IO is,
5
oh, I'm
seconds
tethered to this other
remaining.
person. I'm healing them constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of an issue for support IO than core IO, but
Ah, okay.
Vici Gaming still find value in it.
And for Vici Gaming, this Chaos Knight can also be played on the offlane. That's option for them because they have the Grimstroke. Grimstroke CK is extremely strong dual lane.
Same with the AA though.
Same with the AA. It can also be a core, yeah. So it's just flexible.
LGD's turn
Offlane
to
CK
ban.
versus carry CK. Do carry CKs ever get the Aghanim Scepter? Or until like
VG
6th item they
Gaming's
don't?
turn
Because I
to
know
ban.
offlane CKs get it like relatively early.
Maybe it depends on your teammates as well, right? Like how much benefit are you getting from all the illusions that you're making?
Is this the first time that we are seeing CK in the tournament?
As far as I've on our stream, on A stream, yes.
I watched a lot of the other streams too,
10
and I haven't
seconds
seen.
remaining.
Yeah.
I haven't seen CK so far. I haven't seen it in the Chinese
5
DPC too,
seconds
and
remaining.
here it is. It's picked.
One of the things we've seen it in a
ESG
little bit, the Chaos Knight, and one of the
turn to
things that a really
ban.
good friend told me was that Chaos Knight is kind of ridiculous with the Aghanims, but can you explain what makes him so ridiculous, and especially if they're going to play it now?
Yep. I just
VG
got
Gaming.
information.
It's the
Turn
first
to
Chaos Knight in the
yeah.
tournament.
It's the first Chaos Knight. It just makes an illusion of every single teammate that you have, but it's not only that it makes an illusion, it saves you. While it's creating the illusion, it makes you invulnerable, so it's pretty nice that way as well. But it's just very chaotic to play against multiple
10 seconds
enemies. You
remaining.
don't see what's real, what's not. That's one thing. The other thing is those illusions
5
also
seconds
hurt.
remaining.
So they're attacking you, but
PSG
overall there's also a reason why
LGDs.
we don't see this hero very often, and that's because he's not that great. It's been nerfed a little bit, scaled back after the initial buffs.
I see. Well, we have Tsunami was he's like the prophet of this match because he was talking about AA. Like 1 second later, AA pops up.
10
He said he wants to see some fun Dota.
Hell yeah.
Willow just popped up, and then we have a Juggernaut on the side of
5
VG
seconds
Gaming.
remaining.
So pretty much confirms that it's an offlane CK.
Yep.
I would say that Juggernaut definitely benefits from Aghanim's illusions from the CK. And I think that the Juggernaut Grimstroke lane is one of the ones that we don't see that often, but I like it the most. I like it more than Ricky Grimstroke. I like it more than PA Grimstroke because the Blade Fury move speed bonus that you get from Inkswell is it's impossible to get away from that.
They could also play AA on safe lane with the Juggernaut. That's also an option. Beastmaster, okay, something that wasn't touched this time around. It's usually banned versus.
Yeah, I think last game they banned Beastmaster pretty early.
Usually it's banned in the Chinese region, either picked up very early or banned in second stage. So we see a Beastmaster which will give some pushing power to PSG LGD, also one of those heroes that kinda can lane against Jug because of all the slows that his wars are bringing to the lane.
So do you think that the Beastmaster will secure them the win? What is your prediction for this?
It's so difficult for me to go against an IO, but I think they have a pretty solid lineup. Who's the mid on PSG LGD again? I forgot.
Nothing to say.
But, I mean,
Oh,
the
mid
hero.
I don't remember.
Yeah. they have a very wonky draft overall. Even though it's a Wisp draft, it doesn't feel as strong as that first one.
Nothing to say is playing Mars.
Okay, so it's going to be a Mars mid.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. They picked Mars and
Oh,
then
yeah,
they
they didn't
picked
have a mid
Beast
hero,
at the end. I'm
yeah.
like, what's happening here? Okay, so they switched things up a little bit. Mars will be mid. He can bring that extra oomph to the right click damage, definitely. But,
All right, predict it. Lay it down.
I'll go with Twitchy Gaming this time.
Sumi, I'm tired of letting you tiebreak. You go.
PSG LGD.
Okay. PSG LGD.
All right, casters OD Pixel and Lacoste. What do you have to say?
Can't decide yet. I'm just looking at both of these drafts. Kind of hard to say. Like Mars mid, I've not been impressed throughout the Chinese first season. I don't think it had much success, at least in my mind. Just don't remember being it successful.
I mean, I feel that this game, I think they've got a lot of counters to the IO. I like what VG Gaming's done draft. I sort of see these pucks, this soul mine, a lot of ways to collapse in the Ice Blast from AA. They've really prioritized making sure that this IO doesn't have as good of a game as it did last time. And if there's ever going to be a game where the IO is defeated, this would be the sort of draft that would do it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if the IO works out for them this time in Game 2. Take it away, OD Pixel and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Because, yeah, it really is going to be sort of the ultimate test of how strong is this hero in this carry position when so many counters are drafted against.
Oh, for sure. I think like CK and Grimstroke lane should be able to deal with IO. It's a really strong lane. I remember seeing it a couple of times. Like CK on the off lane, I think that's the best role for him right now, because like you can build different items, but you can also like carry from the off lane, which I really like.
Yeah, we'll see how early old Lemon can like an axe into his build-up if he does want to get the axe, or just sort of see the sort of straight up aura stout fighting build. If he feels that his job is going to be closing the gap onto Arme, setting up the rest of the team to take him down. We're going to see a first attempt here, straight up with the stun, and that should have the damage. That'll do it. First blood for Old Lemon.
Yeah, this lane is gonna be insanely good. Like once you get the level, CK with the stun, Reality Rift, you have the Inksoul on top of that, follow it up with the Stroke of Fate. I just don't see them like winning that lane. It's gonna be why playing Abaddon. Like this lane is all defensive, like not too much you can do. Like even if they use a stun, they pop the Inkswell, like you're still gonna get stunned anyway. Like you can't dispel it. Like bottom lane could be a disaster for PSG LGD, especially with the first blood starting on Ame. He's going into Orb of Corrosion on Young 11, which I like. I tried that build. I think it has a lot of potential. Like you get also KO Strike Lifesteal, so he should be full HP all the time pretty much. There's the combo, 2-second stun.
Well, that's how it looks to see how well Ori's posted to play out this game. As you see, you're a little hesitant on sort of the Mars mid, just not really being a position fully sold on for the hero.
Maybe I need to see more. I don't remember seeing it a lot of the times, but those times that I've seen it, it just didn't feel that great. Maybe it was because of the matchup. We'll see how this one goes. Like the lane. Okay, so they decided to swap things around a little bit. I thought they might actually lane like Brimstroke, but they also have a good combination with the Juggernaut, like Inkswell. They get close to any of these heroes, they die. Like they don't have any turnaround potential, possibly slow coming out from the board. Still strong lanes, no matter what. Like I think VG Gaming should win at least like 2 lanes. I don't think Puck should struggle against the Mars. Mars will still get the farm nonetheless, but yeah, at least 2 lanes should be won for VG Gaming.
And we'll see sort of how Star Arme has to work with this time round. Last game, of course, on his eye, had an incredible game, but did of course have the slow beginning. Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. It gets sort of this lane situation where he's not able to completely free farm. Will catch up if given the time in the jungle. As it is with this setup, 11 should have the opportunity to deny quite a bit away from the 2 of them. Right, trying to make a move on to DY. 11 able to turn, hold him back. Not quite able to finish off the kill. The Aphotic Shield just a little bit too much for the 2 of them to bite through.
Has that healing salve, will go back to full HP. DY a bit low on mana and reason to throw some extra tangos. Can use the clarity. Mars already has the bottle in the mid lane. Puck needs another 100 gold, so Mars doing better than I expected. He got Rebuke, put a second point to armor 3, Battens armor 3, so that's gonna go to -3. You like this quick math?
It's very impressive. You got a degree in that, or is this
no, this is something that I learned on the internet over the years.
On the internet?
Yeah.
Can't learn things on there. Not nice things anyway.
I'm not sure which side you visit, but you know, I'm trying to learn.
Better be educational one. Bottom lane, 11 is moving in onto White. Good body blocks as well, allowed to get a few extra hits in. Not quite enough though. White will live, and Arme nearly brings down DY in turn. Both supports getting away just by the skin of their teeth. 4-minute runes in for Jinju was ready to bait that move there to see if Ori wanted to jump forward to the orb to claim it.
Xinkyu actually picked up double damage. Maybe there was time, because I clicked a bit late, to give that double damage to Mars.
There would have been if he didn't jump for it.
Okay.
Because he sort of baited, you know, he had to grab it just in case, or he did commit, but didn't follow through on the orb. Jinky just playing it safe just in case Ori had opted to come in with the jump and sort of tank the route and try and fight through.
This is the combo. They just need to isolate one hero. Juggernaut started with like the boots of speed to be able to close the gap, getting very close. We'll have Blades of Attack. Unfortunately, Courier died.
Farmers remain relatively even in this bit matchup. Just Ori getting the same amount of this lane as both of them having decent wave clear to push the lane into one another. Why? Gonna look towards Ori, but Ori, when the orb out, won't have to worry about getting hit by that fourth connection.
Instantly dewarded. They wanted to have vision if they have any stacks to be able to invade that part of the jungle. I'm in 19 CS, 23 CS on 11. CK consumes a lot of mana, especially if you like play aggressive, but you want to put points in your Chaos Strike. This is something that doesn't require mana, and you do a ton of damage. You get the lifesteal from it, so it's just pure sustain pretty much.
Bottle refill. The level 6. It's a time where maybe trying to make something happen. Obviously nothing to say. It's a bit of a tougher target, a little higher on the HP as the Mars. Taken down bottom lane. Now the move from Bold 11.
They should know something is up. Ancient Apparition showing on the mid lane. What might get kills on the carriers?
Bottom lane, but then information. Leading it on 11's alive. Nothing to say, swings over, and he's having a set up for the
Radiant's
gonna get two
turret
carriers.
has
Tries
been
to not
killed.
like he goes for the range one instead, the flying one, to be able to deal with him first, and then goes back with the orb, kills the carrier. This should possibly reveal the ward on the high ground that they placed.
Whilst those moves were being made, of course, both teams a little space for their supports to try and boost their way up towards the level 6. Yo-Yo, one getting the most out of this first 7 minutes. Sort of a superior lane setup up top. The move from Ori and PYW, handing over towards setting up onto Y. Not a kill potential really anywhere for PYW as you have some brilliant targets. I mean, all three of the cores essentially excellent setups with the Inkstone.
So much rally from the Inkstone in this one. Juggernaut using the spin. Beastmaster getting close to level 6, so they can get it done, especially if there's an extra work done in 5 gold. They can start playing a bit more aggressively on the top lane.
5 seconds to Arena. Nothing to say he's ready to go for another round down. The scan does hit, so Vici knows that he's heading over. He's able to sweep around, he's able to get the fight. Is that going to land the 2-man Arena? They have a lot of damage though. PYW gets the X-Ball off its dive, puts off the agility to come in onto 11. Additional TP's coming in as EY is ready to join the fight and try and turn things around. And they move on to Y. Take down the account and another God repeat from nothing to say pushes back the 3 of them.
It looked like a good setup. You know, 2-man Arena, but there's no real follow-up damage. Dark is only level 3, you don't care too much about it, and CK is extremely tanky hero. What is his strength gain? Check. 3.4. Not that high, actually, compared to some, like, other strength heroes. Let's say Tusk, he gets 3.9. But still very tanky. Power Treads, Orb of Corrosion, 1400 HP, going straight into Aghanim Scepter.
See top lane, Ori really wanted to try and catch him off guard there with the Invis Room, but Tree was down, and I believe did have a glimpse of that, so very, very safe and secure. Faith Bian ensure that there's no chance for Ori to really capitalize on this Invis Room, which he did spend pretty much the full duration looking for a player top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Faith Bian has that Necro Book, has Roar available, so they can start pushing the tower. A lot of damage coming out from that. Inner beat.
11 wants to try and catch EQ after the Shadow Realm comes to an end, but 2 TP's coming in. Backups on the way, nothing to say, he's got the catch. Arena's down onto all 11. Indigo hunting pretty deep for that opportunity to maybe find Xingqiu. Will be punished at the same time up top. Gaming looking to make a play themselves onto the offlaner of BFGO and Diaz. Faith Bian in turn does fall.
He killed a man. He got some gold before. Juggernaut going into Battle Fury. Okay.
Okay. I mean, do you like this, or
Radiant's
would you
top
prefer
tower
to see
is
him take the
under
belt?
attack.
Maelstrom, I feel in most situations, is my better one. Ulti, just an easy kill. Because you come online a bit faster, and like Battle Fury, you kind of always want to fighting. Oh, you actually connect.
They did just in time. Xingqiu not able to get his way out of this. Multiple times the Shadow Realm TP has not worked out for him, but the Inkswell always being there by PYW.
I think it could be a completely different game. Like Io's not going to get that much. He's always going to feel threatened playing into Apparition Blast. Yeah, you said it, like Inkswell. They're gonna get so much value from this spell. Like throw it on the Juggernaut, throw it on the CK, like even plus double damage.
Dire's top tower
The push
is
now
under
coming from
attack.
BG Gaming. On the
Dire's
bottom lane,
structures
nothing to
are
say. He's gonna head over with the
fortified.
Steedy. Way a bit of
bottom
the
tower
jungle of
is under
BG Gaming
attack.
could have stack and watch. The space though for BG Gaming take bottom lane, and in return, trade should be made here. Push with the Necro push, make
Dire's
Bian
top
also able to
tower
claim a
is
tier 1
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower
Both
has
teams
fallen.
avoiding one another. So far they're with a 7-2 and the
Radiant's
lead of
middle
the farm that
tower is under
Poyoyo does
attack.
have. Benefiting BG Gaming just a little bit more, especially if he is going to get away with getting the Battle Fury in good time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Radiant using a scan. They know something is up.
Has the high ground, drops the arena. Not enough burst on it. No, to take down Ori. Now Ori's ready to try and turn things. Dream Caller's down, setting up for him to close the Inkswell. Ice Blast laid down by DY. If they take out nothing to say, Arme comes in the relocate, will get Ori in return. So a good read there from Arme, seizing the opportunity to get in, find that trade, make sure that nothing to say is live. Wouldn't rush for nothing.
Old 11 really mad using ulti just to kill the floor like he want him real bad.
I mean, he's gonna get them.
Is he?
Or is he? Run the
350 against 365.
Oh, the creep's got it. Rest in peace, sir.
Both of these teams, you know, not rushing anything. They're pretty chill.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, Arme wants to farm, Poyoyo wants to farm. But the question is, who's farming you more confident in the capabilities to win this sort of game? You know, we see the power of a farm Dio as we saw in game 1. If same potency this time round, will Arme get to a point where Vici Gaming are going to struggle to deal through that incredible amount of HP that he'll inevitably have built up thanks to his iron build?
They have the counter, have the ultimate counter, Ancient Apparition, like his job is hit Io with the Ice Blast. It's that simple.
Break now online for Rory though. Decent damage to try and take down some of the squishy targets that we need, of course, at this stage. Arme, but that's not going to last for too long, I guess, with the Ogre Club already done on top of the hill. Already having that bit of early game beef that doesn't make it an easy kill, even if they are able to get in and fade his jungle. Top lane, and DY stepping out, but level 6 being hit on Y. Really a target that Poyoyo could try and go for.
I could try to poke, see what happens, but you do not want to like use the Blade Fury. There's the turnaround potential, especially if Xingqiu is close.
I mean, 14 minutes. It's going to be a very good timing on the Battle Fury from Poyoyo this game. So inevitably, I mean,
middle
sort of
tower is
a
under
free
attack.
farming joke with Battle Fury. Would you consider, is this a hero that's going to farm quicker than an Io, or do you think it's pretty close?
Yeah, I think,
You think
Juggernaut farms a bit faster
Karina, nothing to say. He's able to catch Ori. He's also able to take down Team White Xingqiu.
Come on,
He's trying to go down. That's going to match the damage. And he's going to be able to do so. PYW not quite able to push Xingqiu over the threshold to be popped by the Ice Blast.
He didn't use it straight away, like he saw a batter coming, like there's a shield, he's not gonna die. Sometimes it's better to try it.
Dire's middle
Every
tower
shot you
has
don't
fallen.
take is a missed opportunity.
Absolutely, you got to let it go sometimes. PYW's hesitance, missing out the chance to maybe grab that kill. PSG LGD is with the arena down. They know that they're still very strong right now, with the Yule's potential set up from nothing to say. They can get the angle for the spin. Fake the out with Aurora as well. They've got fantastic burst potential. Who can they catch? Oh, yo, would be a dream. They can find that roar before the
Radiant's
spin.
middle tower is under attack.
He's gonna farm up. He's attempting to grab some of these necro books.
Meanwhile, Jinky had nothing to say, managed to kill Ori's butt.
That's why. No time. But ready. They'll try and chase him and finish him off afterwards. Maybe Poyo closing in. Coming through. And he's gonna get it. Get the kill. They're dying to the creeps. No escape possible for White.
Jinky never wanted to use that ulti, terrorize, to keep him alive. No point. Position 5 abandoned. 11 getting closer to the Aghanim Scepter, so he will be able to like farm different areas, push out the map, provide a lot of vision, also apply some basic dispel.
The roar down the drain, nothing to be found from it. Poyo could happily continue to farm without any further interruption from at least Fate Beyond.
Both Juggernaut and
Dire's
Iron
middle tower
have the
is
same
under
amount of
attack.
farm,
Radiant's bottom tower
but still
is under
feel
attack.
like Juggernaut needs to be careful about the roar. That's it. Like whenever I see Juggernaut, I feel like you need to have a BKB piercing ability against him. Which they do.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Back to really full-on farm for both teams. Again, with the cores, the carries that they have. The build that Poyo's gone through. They're not too interested in throwing themselves into the action for quite some time. At least for Arme, he wants to get that BKB done really before he completely feels confident in turning up to
Dire's
the
bottom
fights.
tower is under attack.
Especially just how many different sources Vici Gaming have in terms of answers for the IO's play and the way that he wants to move around the fights. Likewise for Poyo, a Battle Fury alone isn't going to cut it. At least once he's got the S and Y done, he himself is also going to feel a little bit ready for the battle. Done really, but
yeah, just needs a bit of more tankiness. It also gives him status resistance against the Beastmaster, against the arena. Exactly what he needs to be able to like survive through initial burst. Ori finished his Link Dagger, so it's going to be much easier for them to start a fight. Keep back the base, and now they can start playing a bit more aggressive. Also, Grimstroke finished the Etherland. Like, it's a must-have item on the hero. That cast range is so good. The mana regeneration can outpush the lanes.
any chance of being caught out there, nothing to say was to push out, but completely alone.
It's not only you, Owen, who sees, you know, correct numbers. Like, I like the score. It's a nice number.
I like the score.
Smoke from Vici Gaming. They want to make something happen out of this.
They can put an end to the calm. There's the jump. They're going to be able to get themselves in on the back line.
Get it.
Documentation.
It's going to be put to stealth indeed with the quick moves of Ori. He's fine wide. He's committing him with a borrowed time, but he's going to definitely go down as soon as that comes to an end. That means for Vici Gaming to end the silence of the farming phase. Definitely catching PSG LGD a little bit off guard there as they lose 3 and they're
Radiant's
not able to turn.
They also don't have a way to deal with CK illusions. They have, like, no
Radiant structures are fortified.
like, Io's balls are gonna be, like, nullified, but the illusions will take the damage. Same goes
Radiant's
for
top tower has
Bedlam
fallen.
coming out from the Dark Willow, and it also
Dire's
gives
middle
a bit of
tower is
Kale
under
in the
attack.
team.
It does. That's.
I remember there was a team, I can't remember who it was, who was playing like Luna and CK with the Aghanim sector, like which causes lag, and then Luna just pops the ulti and your heroes die.
It's gonna be a
That's the next level strap. They will find G1W. Any efforts to help him out? There isn't. They'll let him go.
You leave nothing worse.
Especially around these bounty rune times, they want to make sure they at least grab themselves two.
Radiant's
down.
middle
Gaming,
tower is under
to say.
attack.
Comes in, just going to have an invis rune bottled up for the next fight. Blink Dagger also done on Faith Beyond. So PSG LGD having some good tools to maybe try and make a move themselves if they want to. Or if they're purely happy just playing this passive game of just enabling Arme's farming patterns, giving him all the space in the world to work with as the BKB is coming just around the corner. Quite done from Poyo-Yo. Continue to just sort of stat up across the board.
Yeah, I love that build. Getting the raw stats, more tanky, again, starting heals nicely with the IO. Jin Q and a couple more heroes will be able to bring down Clock. One of the reasons why he's also going for the Lincoln Sphere, didn't have too many ability to actually just Dual Scepter from Mars, Roar, and the Curse Crown.
The shawls into Spears. Of course, with the timing right, doesn't give the opportunity for Ori to save himself whatsoever. It's a deadly combo. We go, so some extra gap close on old 11 as expected with the Dagger. Another thing that these heroes have to be a little bit prepared for. A lot of the times, already outside of the blink on the CK, many gap closes against the IO.
He's also getting closer to level 15, talent 14%, cooldown reduction. Also has Shadow Blade queued up. I don't mind that, you know, just being able to surprise anyone, control the backlines.
Radiant
You can
are scanning.
also possibly just kill the Abaddon without proccing the ulti with the illusions, or surprise Dark Willow, try to find IO. I think it's a good pickup.
Smoking play from both
Radiant's
sides.
middle tower is under attack.
Solar Left that's coming out on top of it. Takes down Faith Beyond on his own with the power of his illusion. Nothing to say, try and come across the punch. Tanky on this CK. What are they saying again with the blade bringing nothing to say low, but the relocate will take the two of them out of there.
Do they have any stuns? Nothing. They can just TP out, relocate out, nothing to stop it. Clock was there, but not close enough.
Let's get the Dream Coil. Like an attempt up to the high ground to try and take down nothing to say. Damage for it. Curse Crown will be avoided with quick use play. If they can jump any further, Wise back by the side.
Radiant's
Nothing to say.
bottom
So it's a
tower
bit
is under attack.
tougher for Vici Gaming to try and chase on for that any further.
Dire's top tower is
They'll
under
keep the
attack.
Mars safe. Actually making the move. Right over to Wood. They're going to try and see if they can take down this Roshan. Vici Gaming is going to have the full line of backup, but there is no Dream Coil. There is, however, an Ice Blast event.
If they go in with the Ice Blast, they also have Phantasm already with that
Radiant's
CR,
bottom tower
level
is under
15
attack.
talent. They should be able to come here in time and take the fight. However, as I mentioned, no Omni Slash for 75 seconds, but could still take that fight.
Let's see if they can get him. Phantasm's out the route from Jin-Q, holding the back. They're trying to make their way around. Already into the river. Poyo-Yo and Ori have found their way in. Roshan has been left alive for now. They couldn't quite finish it off PSG. As Vici Gaming are able to push them away from the pit. More time being procced as well by that connection from PYW. Ori with a further jump in, seeing if he could quite burst down the Abaddon. It wasn't enough. And this Roshan in a very delicate position now. Both teams not wanting to let it slip away from the other with it being as low as it is right now. Calls back up. They're going to catch on to the two of them though, and nothing more that they can do to follow it up. Yes, they now can move back into the pit. But
No one wants to call commit. Juggernaut will have ulti ready in 25 seconds, so wants to take the
At the attempted jump, Icebox coming in early, does connect onto Armor. They're going to try it over into the pit. They're in it down. Just catch on, and then the Terrorizer catches Ori as well. Ori trying to jump in, but it 3 heroes down. That should do it for PSG LGD and give them easily the space to have. Yeah, that's okay. That's great.
I love how 11 blinks in just to beat him. That's a nice combination. Jin-Q follows up with the Terrorize and catches both of the heroes, so Ame will pick up that Aegis.
Excellent, excellent Willow play from Jin-Q.
This is the build. Like, this is something that Jin-Q has been theory crafting with. Why actually being the one, you know, dealing some strike click.
Oh, he is. We're seeing in these fights, once he's tethered up, he's ready to go and just stay on a target. More than often get those, you know, the successful stacks of Curse of Avernus built up. I mean, here yet again, attempted fight from VG Gaming, put immediately to a stop as the Terrorize comes crashing down and pushing them away.
Scotty almost done on Juggernaut, that's gonna help quite a lot. Also, like DY, he used ulti, managed to hit the IO, but there needs to be some kind of follow-up. That's gonna be even harder because they don't have like hold them in place with the BKB. That will need eventually Aghanim Scepter on the puck. The only ability that goes like through magic immunity is Omni Slash. But I don't think you want to Omni IO who has Aegis going once again into Heart. Like Ame, just keeping things simple.
We saw how effective it was last game. With the extra measures to deal with it this time round. If you know, some of these big spells do miss, like the Ice Blast, it's going to be able to easily live through it all.
Now, this was actually very close. Fate Beyond could have stunned with the Hawk. Shard is available. You can also move the Hawk, like that's the biggest part of the Shard. It's not about that initiation, about the stun, but the ability to be the Hawk.
Radiant's bottom tower
one of the
is under
better
attack.
Shards. I know you, and you're like, yeah, you know, it's not that good, doesn't give any farming ability.
There we go, shooting lane on 11.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Quick and easy move.
Radiant's bottom tower
Will
is
lose
under attack.
Y in return. Still these trades each and every time. PSG LGD the ones to find a core kill. Getting Ame continuously involved. It's going to be the hard goal. Pretty much done with this
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures
It's just gonna be
are fortified.
tier 2 for tier 2 trade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
AA starting things out. With the Ice Vortex. They're not letting this one go. Jin-Q killed the healing board instantly. And then one set up on it. They jump.
They completely blow him up. Terrorize coming down, and they're going to hold on to him for now. As he jumps up to the side, DY tries to turn with the Ice Blast, but Fate Beyond comes in and cuts him down with the axes.
Juggernaut's like, see you later, nerds. You know, I'm out. I do not want to die there. We didn't even manage to kill the tower. They brought in numbers. They also have like, didn't have relocate, but something. If they're not like paying attention to it, they should be careful about it. You know, simple blink, roar, and then relocate 2 heroes. Easy setup. Talked about Jin-Q's activization, so like the first player who brought in off-the-range shard type of a build, an Earthshaker, and he's doing the same thing with the Dark Willow. He just loves the off-terrain. And he also has the shard, so like third round, even if it's the spell, it's still quite
Oh, look at this catch again, nothing to say.
When I say proc, I mean the Bramble Maze will be there. So yeah, Ori, once again,
Dire's middle tower
getting
is
caught
under
by
attack.
Beastmaster and the crew.
I just said that the potential of this Mars against the puck, being able to catch him with the spear as he comes out of yours, is just allowing them to take down a hero that normally is
very hard to kill.
Dire's
you're
middle tower
only
is
relying on
under
having something like an instant edge. This does just as good of a job if you got the timing nailed down to a T, and nothing to say certainly has. We've only seen him sort of miss it the once this game. Other than that, each and every time, as soon as he's up in the air with the Yules, he's pretty much dead. Ori.
Dire's bottom tower
Have no
has
reveal.
fallen.
11.
He wants to go. And he's going to get it. That's that duration more than long enough to get the kill, and with a blink dagger, he's out into the trees and he's away. Oh, I'll say that Fate Beyond is going to try and hunt for
Radiant's
him.
top tower is under attack.
They need to be careful. He blinks in. Nigma's gonna blow on these
making the attempt to get in on this. He's gonna have enough damage. Hopefully hit him with the iron. That's straight onto Arme. He only just put it bounce over towards Y. It doesn't stay on Arme. As Arme's fortified for now, he goes back in with the sprint. Y. Sibbo never has the damage to kill him. There's nothing to take heading over. They keep the back up that Arme needs. Can they keep Arme alive? He's still living. Finally falls, but they lose Player for it. BKB comes out for nothing to say. Leads up another with the DDP. Smashed a bit.
What was that? Like 1,000 damage? He's almost level 25. Like that's how much experience he got. It was solo experience by nothing to say. That Desolator pickup really worth it. He didn't have double damage, right?
He did. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
And also enchanted quiver. So ton of damage coming up from DD and the quiver. But we could see the power of like Scotty from the Juggernaut. Holding that IO in the place.
And just unfortunately, if he stays on him,
jump on IO.
not quite having the connections. Then he would have made a bit of a cleaner kill. Once again, I mean, it's just proving too difficult to play. This Mars answer to the puck, it's looking really good. And with the prevalence of puck in these games, I wonder if we'll actually start to see more teams going for the Mars approach where they have this spear to catch and kill him.
It's a possibility. I've been really impressed the way Nothing to Say has been playing Mars. I feel Ori, you know, kind of regrets going for that Boots of Travel instead of going for the Lincoln Sphere straight away. There would be no like Yule setup, and he doesn't have so right now, where's he sitting at? Middle of the pack. Darkwill is almost armed as Puck, which
I mean, he's been dying a lot, Ori, this game. I mean, yeah, dying a lot. 2, 8, and 5. It's not been an easy game for him this time round on his puck, despite the number of games that he has been coming out with and the number of great games he's been having. This game, this time round, PSG LGD massively dealing with Ori's puck. He's looking for action. He's going to jump in across me on the Jinkyu. Come over the boost jab, get around, find a bit of safety for Jinkyu, but as soon as it comes to that old lemon, brings him in, takes him down, counterplay will be there, nothing to say. And they got the detection. They do. They've got the backup, they'll lay it down. They can get more out of this. Poyo heading into the Blade Fury, gets held back by the Primal Roar. Offensively out, Poyo, he's still alive. He's going to turn towards wide. The slash is jumping over the kill off, nothing to say. They've brought down the Mars. Again, they still have the number advantage, but they're respecting Arme. Arme's coming across. He'll offer up his right, heads back in to try and create some space for the rest of his team to get out. PYW won't be able to do so, but Ori is able to make it into the trees. They'll at least buy time for the puck to escape.
The damage coming up from the Mars is too good right now. They also have a tool to deal with the spin coming out from the Juggernaut, Beastmaster Roar. Like, this is the target that he needs to use it on, and he also went for wild axes like Aghanim Scepter. They have no cooldown, and you can just keep using it once they go back, which is pretty interesting.
All right, yeah. I mean, they get those stacks built up that they certainly hurt.
He's also level 21, which means they picked up the plus 50 wild axes damage talent.
Dire.
Gaming again, having a tough one against PSG LGD's lineup with this Arme IO, despite the fact that this time round their draft very much centered at dealing with the carry IO. So far, it hasn't quite been able to do that. Arme has been playing around it perfectly, 10, 3, and 9, number 25. With the iron slot getting close to being completely filled up, and now he's going to have an Aegis to boot as well.
The problem is Ori's not having a game. He has died way too many times. Minute 35, having the Twitch Blade and just the Blink Dagger, like these are your items in a team fight. Has 4,000 gold saved up, so getting closer to that Lincoln's will give him a bit more survivability. Still, like he's not going to be able to do that much. He needs like an extra item to feel the real influence. Juggernaut getting closer to Aghanim Scepter,
Radiant's
so
bottom tower is under
he
attack.
is not going to be unlucky as he was 2 times in a row. Just zombie slap. Couple of times. Juggernaut and Baron, definitely not the target that you want.
Just very much like the peer. Because their hero coming. It's
Radiant's bottom tower
Yo
is
has
under
the
attack.
Aghanims and that damage item on top of it for his slashes to actually be feared by some of these bigger heroes.
At the
Radiant's
start of the game,
bottom
you know,
tower is falling.
how I don't like the mid Mars, I'm slightly changing.
You're getting sold on it this day.
Nothing to say has been really impressive.
Chiamo trying to come in with the BKB. Will manage to catch a glimpse of old 11 over to the side. And they'll chase and take him down. So wide pushing back the rest of VG Gaming. The pressure really on against VG. They're falling further and further behind. They're going to have some sort of insane high ground defense. Sort of perfect ice blast into complete Omni Slashes on one target.
Dire's top
To have
tower
any
is
sort of
under
chance of taking
attack.
down some of these bigger heroes. Remember the AC, 4k HP, 36 armor.
Look at me, I'm the carry now.
Now switch flash. Not doing much at all. So, and then bring him low, but not quite low enough. He's able to protect that Aegis army.
Still has cheese in the backpack, has that heart of the last regeneration kicking in, so he's good. Also, Abaddon could save him with the shield, could heal him up with the Mist Coil.
Dire's top tower
The high
is
ground
under
they go
attack.
again, PSG. They know that.
Oh yes,
They're going to try. The ice blast coming over. The BKB's out from Arme. As that BKB is Pompeo. Won't commit any further. Yes, they can get away with this, just slowly chipping away at the high ground. They know as long as they really keep these gaming contained into the base, it's very unlikely going to be a chance for Vici Gaming to ever catch up in farm. Vici, they need to find some sort of fight, some sort of a
Dire's
defense
top tower
to
is under
swing this one
attack.
round.
it's almost 20,000 gold lead already. They're gonna like shut him down in terms of vision. They have Hawk who can be moved so they can see things around. And they have the Necro units, and they also have a gem on Jinkyu. A lot of those wards will be warded, even though like they have still 2 observer ward. Pretty impressive considering what they're playing against.
What is the move for Vici Gaming in this position?
Who
are you
asks some
bursting?
tough questions, Owen, right now?
I guess
mean,
if you knew the answer to that, you could be a very rich coach.
They can still win this game. PYW, if he gets Hex with the Soul Line, I don't think they can just blow up Io straight away, especially with the Aegis. There's still a minute on the Aegis, so they should just keep dodging the fights until Aegis is gone. Try to poke, maybe go for someone else.
Now they're going to try and go for the Abaddon. They can bring him down before the rest of the team turns up. He's still alive. Jinchu will fall.
Have such plans.
Chase any more out of this. They have managed to find the 2 of them. Here's LGD though. They're still bringing Arme across. Fake beyond. He's able to sneak away here. Cover off the Trickster cloak. Frontline detection to set up for any further catch. Nothing to say he's ready to charge in. They may be down 3 versus 4. I have the arena back up in 5 seconds.
They saw that relocate, like deep board from Vici Gaming on the high ground bottom part of the map. They noticed that there was a relocate, so they knew like, yeah, we should try to make a move. They got 2 kills out of that.
Old 11. He's trying to hide. Do they have detection? Yeah, they've got the gem. FBI was able to reclaim that after the last one. He's going to pop the ult.
Almost got it, very close. He tried to go for a play, kill the Beastmaster, but not happening today. Juggernaut has interesting. I think he just needs to get more damage.
Yeah, is it going to be enough? I mean, you're keeping yourself alive, but how on earth are you ever going to really kill this IO successfully in the team fights. It feels like it's going to be so difficult. If he gets this Lincoln Sphere, it almost feels like he has to then consume the Aghanims and then get a damage item before he's going to be any sort of threat to PSG LGD in these fights.
Yeah, because you can't sell Fast, you're not going to sell Scotty or anything. So I just feel this needs to be like Basher.
Now they're going to get the jump on him. This will blade straight into the Spirit down towards the wall. Ice Bar. But it's already going to be over for Poyoyo.
They already have like one Lincoln on the block, so maybe they need to like share that Lincoln Sphere. In terms of like initiation, they go on someone.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Get back in on this is pretty easy though, nothing to say. The catch on it. Orange away, they're pushing the high ground though. Fake beyond, and Arme making short work of the barracks. Mid lane's gone.
Are actually going for tier 4 tower.
Well, they're certainly having a poke at it. There's a buyback available on Poyoyo. I'll heavily hinder his bomb. He might have to do it on the game's ending. They're going to make the jump. Dream Coil down. BKB's out. They're going to come back. The Iron they burn down Army. He's getting low. They'll take it out of him. Bring down Army. Now they're turning over Wolf's intention. Nothing to say. Poyoyo gets the double over towards Faith Piano. Then it drags him in. They may have lost the barracks, but they're finally able to give PSG LGD a big punch back with their 3 kills.
It's a big buyback. Like Juggernaut just did buyback. Roshan may respawn in 50 seconds if it's like instant respawn. If they can get the Roshan Vici Gaming, but yeah, I think Puck, if he's holding a buyback, which he isn't, needs 600 gold. Like that Lincoln Sphere needs to be on the Juggernaut.
Now we'll see it again. PSG LGD getting caught, hanging around a little too much. And they do find that situation with the slash down onto the iron. No creeps about. Poyo, you're able to get a good amount of bounces onto Arme.
Bit limited on the stuff. Like AA needs to hit the IO, but if there's like BKB, they can't stop him. So kind of hard job for Ancient Apparition. Needs to wait until that's done. Then like CK needs to go in. He's also level 25, so that's 1 extra second. Duration on the stun is gonna help out, but you always need to be worried about stun getting removed by a bandit.
We're gonna see the commitment here. The illusion's out. There's still about 20 seconds
are fortified.
Till the 3
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
PSG LGD. Fortifications coming to an end. How much can they get out of this? Oh, he's in. He's done it. Once again, up the full team up, they're going to be able to get CQ. A little time being walked with the Yules. Shadow Radiant's up.
Bottom tower
He climbs his way back into towards the fountain. He's got it. He's already committed to kill the Royce down to an illusion. The two catch the ball as only goes down. Not enough space for them to quite finish up the barracks though. Nothing to say.
They just bought back Roshan is alive. So PSG LGD can go inside a bit, so take the cheese, take the Aegis. This will give VG Gaming at least one more fight. Grimstroke finished the Scythe of Wise, so that's gonna be like 2 targets hexed, which is gonna be real nice. A bit more control. DY just straight up dies to relocate.
Alright, and no buyback on him. This is 3 heroes. Completely out of the game. Oh, I don't know. He got to but nothing to say. He has. Arme puts the cross with the tether. Nothing to say. Back up to bullet
That's
speed.
why I love 11. You know, moves like this makes me just love the player even more. They call it. He's the one fighting. GG well played in the old chat.
Yeah, there's no more fight to be had. For them. Getting the second victory is to 0. And this second game again, I mean, this